Hey, hello everyone. So today we're here to talk about anime again, and this time around I chose to talk about well, it's more of a manga, but the anime is currently going on, and I chose to talk about an anime that is in no way going to affect my public image, and it definitely does not have any sort of controversy surrounding it, which is the 100 God, fuck! Which is the 100 girlfriends that really love you. So the anime adaptation is currently going on, and honestly it's a lot better than what I expected. The animation is phenomenal, the voice acting is really good, and since it's coming to a close, I believe the 11th, it's right now at the 11th episode, I decided to make a tier list in order to rank all of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 girlfriends that have come out up until this point in the manga, which is kind of crazy because like there's 160 chapters and we're barely a quarter of the way through all of them. So I don't even know if we're gonna get to see all of the 100 girlfriends, but anyway, so I made this tier list. The link is going to be in the description if you want to make your own, but it's pretty much just a regular tier list, except it's got the lolly tier. Now, I am not into lollies. You know, the only qualities I really expect of a woman is to, first of all, be alive, B, she has to be legal, and number 3, she has to exist. Actually, that's optional. But anyway, lollies are not my thing, honestly. So I made a tier just for them, but if you are into that, you know, hey, I don't judge because I don't know you. If I knew you, I'd probably judge. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna go in the order that they were introduced in the story. Story? I mean, come on, like, there is no story, let's be real. So yeah, first things first, we technically have Hakari. Man, what tier do I want to put Hakari in? She's really cute, and I have a thing for pink-haired characters. You know, it's pink hair and white hair. It just gets to me, and I mean, she has some really valuable assets, 2 massive assets that she constantly carries around with her, which is money, because she's rich. So adding that into the equation, I guess I'd put her probably at an A, just because I think that her assets are too massive. That's really not my thing, you know. She really does look like the letter S, if you really think about it. That's what her figure looks like. A bit too exaggerated for me, even though she is fictional. She doesn't even exist. But anyway. Alright, next we have Karane. And she's the tsundere of the series, which I can appreciate. I mean, tsundere is the best bidde out there. You know, don't come at me with that yandere shit, especially after Yandere Simulator and Yandere Dev, that motherfucker. Other than that, tsunderes, they're really the best one. There's no discussion. Not only that, Karane is always rocking the twin tails, which it's a top 3 hairstyle, honestly. Like, you don't see it a lot in real life, but I can appreciate it in anime like this. And actually, there in one of the most recent chapters, there was a really good gag involving her family, because like her entire family is tsundere. Her dad, her grandpa, her fucking sisters, brothers, whatever the fuck, even the baby in the family is an absolute tsundere. That shit was pretty funny, and she was concerned about, you know, having a kid with Rentaro and passing on her tsundere genes, which, that was really cute. So, I am gonna put Karane at an S, at an absolute S. Don't come at me for putting Karane at an S and Hakari at an A. I know a lot of people out there, if they saw me on the street after hearing this, they probably would stab me in the pancreas. But hey, that's just how the fortune cookie crumbles. It just is what it is. Next, we have Shizuka. Now, this is a very difficult decision for me, because here's the thing. She is absolutely one of my favorite characters. She's the ultimate introvert, to the point where she can't even talk. She talks through an app on her phone using passages of books. The issue is, she pretty much is a lolly. She fits that category. Honestly, I am going to have to put her in the lolly tier, but otherwise she would be an S. As a fellow introvert, I do identify with her on a molecular level, but as an adult who is over 18 years of age, I don't want none of that. So she's going into the lolly category, but you know, if I were to think of her as my daughter, like, she's definitely someone I would give my life to protect, because she deserves it. But since we're talking about waifus here, she's going into that lolly tier, undoubtedly. Okay, up next we have Nano, S tier. I don't even have to, do I even have to explain myself? First of all, white hair, red eyes. She's pretty fucking stoic. She doesn't give a shit about anything other than effectiveness, and right off the bat, she tried to sabotage the relationship with Rentaro as he made his approaches, which, that's a huge red flag. But hey, red is my favorite color. She's an S tier. Alright, up next, Kusuri. God damn. Now, she could go into one of the tiers from S through D, but she also could go to the lolly tier, and that's because she's technically not a child. She's older than Rentaro, but due to that failed immortality drug, she became a child sort of permanently until she uses that antidote or whatever. You know, I do feel like I have to put her as in the lolly tier just because she spends the overwhelming majority of the manga and the anime, consequently, in her child form. So she's going into that lolly category for sure. If I were to treat her as the 17-year-old Kusuri, she probably would have gone into like a C tier. You know, there are some good gags involving her drugs, but overall it's just like it's not, they're not amazing. But hey, have you ever wanted to fuck your girlfriend? Probably, but you couldn't because you never had one because you're watching this video. So let me rephrase that. Have you ever wanted to fuck your girlfriend's mom? Well, if you answered yes, look inward. But anyway, Rentaro can, because Hakari's mom, Hahari, is also one of the girlfriends in the manga. She was just introduced in this week's episode or last week's episode, I'm not quite sure. And if you think that Hakari has massive assets, she has some magnanimous assets. Big. Like, we're talking about no airbags needed in the car level of assets. Like, seriously, her shoulders must be absolutely ripped by this point because she has to carry a massive weight of having lost her loved one at the tender age of 13. Also, her titties are huge, that too. But yeah, Hahari, honestly, she has this motherly instinct. Well, no shit, she is a mother. But she applies that to everyone, which I think is, you know, it's not the most uncommon trait that they could have thought of for a character in the manga, but it's cute. It's cute. I'll give her a solid, man, I'll give her an A. If I gave Hakari an A, I think it's only fair I give her mom an A too. Okay, who's next? Wow, Kurumi already? Okay, so Kurumi, yeah, lolly tier right off the bat. Her fucking, you know, her whole quirk is that she's just hangry all the time. She's hungry and angry. The way she eats, she likes to eat. Like every anime has one of these characters. And it doesn't help that she's like in 8th grade. So even if she wasn't a lolly, she would probably go into like a D or C tier just because, we've seen this before. There is one manga panel, however, that is really fucking good, which is her at her hangriest, and they stylized her as a Titan from Attack on Titan, and that was really good. But, other than that, nah. Just nah. Okay, up next we have Meido Mei. So not only does her name translate to literally maid, she is Hahari's maid. And her whole, you know, her whole quirk is that she is the most devout maid that one could possibly be, not only towards Hahari, but towards every single other girlfriend and obviously Rentaro. And she also never opens her eyes up. I don't remember if that is explained, but there is one specific joke in the manga where Rentaro, doing his best to open her eyes up, dresses up as Frieza, and she does open up her eyes. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? And that was pretty good. But yeah, Mei is just, I mean, who doesn't like a maid? Honestly, that's the staple of the anime character trait. Plus, she is absolutely charming. So May she have, yeah, I think she goes at an S tier. Definitely. Okay, so we're down 8. There's only 19 more to go. And next up we have Iku, who is, God, I mean, where do I even begin? She's a masochist. That's it. That's her gimmick. She is I think she's a baseball player. I'm not quite sure, but she's a masochist. She just loves to get slapped in the ass with a baseball bat. That's literally one of her hobbies. And she even did it as a baby. That shit was pretty weird, I'm not gonna lie. And despite being a computer science graduate, I'm not a masochist. Neither am I a sadomasochist. I am not a huge fan of inflicting pain on people, only psychological pain. But yeah, physical pain, I try not to cause any harm to anyone, so I don't think I can really identify with her all that much. Honestly, she's a D tier to me. Yeah, she's not, there's nothing about her that really calls my attention. Alright, up next we have Utsukushisugi Mimimi. Some of you have probably noticed that every character in this series, and I mean every character, has some sort of pun in their name that references their gimmick and personality. So for example, Nano's name is AI, which, I mean, I don't have to translate that, it's AI. Like Hahari, haha means mom, or Shizuka, which Shizuka means quiet, things like that. I mean, Kusuri literally means drug or medication. I think out of all the puns in this series, Utsukushisugi Mimimi is absolutely the most appalling one, because Utsukushisugi literally means too beautiful, and Mimimi, if you could write it with the kanji for beauty, and that's her whole thing. It's being beautiful. That's it. There's not much else to her. I don't even think she's really that good looking. I mean, among the characters, among the other girlfriends, I'd say she loses out in terms of beauty to about like 5 or 6 of them. Honestly, she is canonically beautiful though. She's supposedly the best looking one out of the troupe, but just nah. Just nah. I should have renamed this here to nah. Can I do that right now? Oh yeah, I can. Nah. Yeah, just nah. Okay, next we have Kakure Meme. I mean, if Shizuka is introverted, she's on a whole different level. We're talking about she literally teleports whenever someone looks at her. She's also really good at knitting, which, I mean, like, that's any guy who says they don't like a woman that knows how to knit should be shaved bald and lashed publicly, because they're fucking liars. She's absolutely like an A tier at least. I guess the fact that you don't get to see her eyes at any point makes it so she doesn't get an S tier. Or maybe there is a chapter where she shows her eyes, but I really don't remember. I'm not going through 160 chapters just for this video. Alright, next up we have Chiyo, lolly tier. If there was anything beneath that, she'd probably go there. She's a child. She's literally a child. I think she's in like 8th or 7th grade. And I do think that she's related somehow to Rentaro. Maybe not. I don't think she's related by blood, but she is a relative of Rentaro somehow. I think she's her cousin. And yeah, I mean, it's a child. She's a child through and through. Other than that, her whole trait is that she gets mad when something is out of order, or whenever she isn't controlling things. Just yikes, dude. Just yikes. I mean, my ex-girlfriend did the same thing, and let me tell you something, that shit causes AoE emotional damage. So yeah, even if she wasn't a lolly, she'd be in the nah tier. So alright, up next we have Yamato Nadeshiko. Yeah, she's a really good character, honestly. She was a pleasant surprise about, I want to say, midway through the manga. I can't really remember, but essentially she's Rentaro's teacher, which like, this teacher-student thing is really normal in anime and manga. So if you don't read manga or watch anime, it is normal. I know it's weird in real life, but hey, thankfully this is not real life. because if it was, I'd shoot myself. So her backstory is that she is of an exceptionally traditional Japanese family. That's why her name is Yamato Nadeshiko, which is a term that refers to, you know, mega traditional Japanese women that are super submissive, but she doesn't act out that character. In fact, she goes around pretending to be American and speaking with a Texan accent like, wow, a real life drive-in theater just like in all those classic American movies like Ant-Man. I've always wanted to go to one, you hear? But yeah, that's her whole thing. She's an S tier, for sure. Like, she's just too adorable. Now we have Yamame, Yasashi Yamame. I don't even know how to describe. She's like this 6'7" high schooler who's an animal lover, and also she's sort of like a farmer kind of thing. I can't really remember. I know she's really tall, and holy fucking shit, remember the thing that I said about how guys who say they don't like a woman who knits are lying? Anyone who says they don't like a woman that's over 2 meters tall and that could crush them with a single thigh is an even bigger liar. And Yamame definitely fits that criteria. She also says I a lot. I don't know why. I really don't. But yeah, I mean, I guess to me she just lacks a bit in the character design aspect of the whole thing. But she's an A. She's definitely an A. I do love me some Death by Snoo, so yeah, an A I think is appropriate. Okay, next up we have Momiji. Just kidding, she's a lolly. Well, besides the fact that, I mean, I don't really know, I think she's in the same grade as Rentaro, but just the fact that she looks like she should be in preschool is already a little bit off-putting to me. Her whole thing is that she really likes to grab people's asses and titties, which I can't not identify with. I mean, I'm not like a groper or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't want to sound like a slut, but holding hands is more of my kind of deal. So yeah, I really can't, I don't know, I can't think anything of her. I just noticed I didn't put anyone at a B or a C. See, they're either like amazing or boring or kids. That's the kind of work I'm covering today. Oh boy. Okay, next. Hey, remember when I asked you, would you like to fuck your girlfriend's mom? Well, what if we went one step further? And by that I mean, what if we went one step above in the family tree? Have you ever wanted to fuck your girlfriend's grandma? Please tell me you answered no. Oh my god, please. Anyway, Rentaro can. And I hope he doesn't, because Kusuri's grandma is actually one of the girlfriends in this manga, and at that point I swear to god I nearly dropped reading this entirely because of how absurd I thought it was. But then I stuck around just because the jokes are pretty good, but that is really off-putting. Now she looks like she's a lolly, but she's obviously not because she's a grandmother. I mean, she might be the first B tier in this list, honestly. Just because there's not, like, she doesn't shine in terms of personality, but it's not like her gags are boring. And I like how, because of how old she is, she really doesn't know technology at all, and she refers to cell phones as like planks and shit, because I think she was born in like the early 20th century. But yeah, she's mid. I'm sorry, grandma, but you're mid. Okay, next we have Kishika. So Kishika, she's like the sword maiden thing of the group, I guess. Like, she carries herself like a knight, but deep down inside she just wants to be babied. That is her thing, and she jumps at Rentaro's and Hahari's arms at every opportunity. At the end of the day, it's like, look, their personalities remain consistent throughout the entire series. Like, when you get introduced to a new character in this, you can bet your sweet ass that they are going to stick to that personality throughout the entire series. And honestly, her gags are literally just her being babied by others. That's it. And at that point, at one point, it gets sort of stale. So I guess I'll put Kishika as sort of like a C, also because I don't know, she looks she just looks generic. So I'm sorry to the Kishika fan club out there, all 2 of you, for putting her a C, but she's a C. Okay, now we have Ashii, and she is an S tier for sure. First of all, because she speaks like she has 2 brain cells working one at a time, and they're not communicating with each other. She's also the gyaru of the group, and gyarus are like up there with tsunderes and maids, so I think it's only fair that I give her an S. And she's like just a normal girl. I don't know what to say. She's like a normal girl that you would find in 2023 if you went to like a Taylor Swift concert, but mine is all of the red flags, you know, so yeah, she's an S. She's an S tier for sure. Whew. Okay, number 19.
Mouse in baked beans.
And we have Uto. She's the bard of the group. She acts like she's like a 12th century bard, I guess. I don't even know if bards existed in the 12th century, but anyway, she's her whole gimmick is that she's a sophist. So for those of you that don't know what a sophist is essentially a person that can make some good points about something until you realize that those points are not entirely true, or maybe someone that talks a whole lot about something and they're talking and talking and talking and they literally never come to a conclusion and there's no substance in their speech. That's Uto. She just talks for the sake of talking. She just says things, but it's like a nothing sandwich with nothing fries on the side. She's like the perfect Twitter user. She just talks for the sake of talking and never really says anything with true meaning. She just like me for real. I think Uto is an S. I think Uto is an S, and plus, I mean, just look at her. She's really cute. She is so cute. So yeah, S tier for Uto. And now we have Mai. Honestly, Mai is she's like a knot. She's also a maid, but her thing is that she's obsessed with Mei, and that's it. That's it. There's nothing else. And like, that's lame.
This is fucking annoying. I
don't know what to say. Like, it's not really comical at all. She's just obsessed with Mei, like in an unhealthy manner. I mean, so am I, but I'm not Mei's sister, and Mei doesn't exist, so. But yeah, there's not much to her. Her gags are not really funny at all, so just nah. Okay, next up we have Ring, or Bio Ring, which is a pun because Bio Ring means violin, and she's a violinist. And I mean, well, okay, before I explain what her gimmick is, she's a lolly, so that's an auto lolly tier, but her thing is that she likes violence. She's like this composed violinist and she's really good, but she's really into violent things. Honestly, it's just lame. And she has this catchphrase that's like something in Italian.
That's cringe.
Which I guess means like really violent or something. It's just cringe. I should make a new tier called cringe and put her in there because that's it. Which is unfortunate because she is pretty cute. But yeah, it's just super cringy. Okay, next up we have Momoha, and she's an S tier. She's an absolute S tier. First of all, she's a heavy drinker. I mean, no, wait, what? First of all, she is just absolutely adorable. Second of all, she's like an ethics professor. Actually, she's not even an ethics teacher. She's like a social studies teacher, I think. She's homeless, which, like, come on, that's the greenest flag you can have. Not only that, she is perfectly legal at the ripe age of 27. So, I mean, if there was a tier above S, she would be the sole member of that tier. So yeah, that's an S tier for her. Oops, I just realized that Ring actually came before Momoha in the manga, but hey, who cares? She would have gone into the cringe tier anyway, so who gives a shit? Okay, next underage female we're gonna take a look at is Hifumitsu, who is a number obsessed girl. That's her thing. And honestly, you know, as the manga went on, it sort of became clear that the authors were sort of struggling to come up with new personalities. But I feel like hers is a breath of fresh air, because her obsession with numbers is pretty funny at times, and her not being a lolly is great already. Her gags involving numbers are they're pretty well made. I feel like she's I mean, I don't have enough reasons to put her at an A, but she's not bad, so she goes along with fucking, god damn it, what's her name? What's her name, god damn it? The grandma. Oh my god, okay, we're close to the end now. So coming up at number 24? Yes, 24, which I think is also her age, maybe, is Eira, because she's like, she does capoeira, which is like that Brazilian sort of dancing slash fighting thing that Eddie Gordo from Tekken also does. And remember the thing that I said about the author struggling to come up with new gimmicks? I feel like this applies to her. So she's this half Brazilian chick that isn't afraid of anything at all except for things that she cannot defeat with a kick. If that is not the biggest fucking stretch of a personality that someone can come up with, I feel like maybe the editor over at the publishing company was like, listen here fuckers, we need to come up with a new character with a gimmick that no one has ever seen before. Okay, how about we put a lolly that she has, like, she plays the violin, and also she has like shark teeth, and she says something in Italian, and she's violent. Oh, that is terrible. We can think of something worse. And so the authors were like, how about schizophrenia? So she's like afraid of things that she can't take out with a physical attack, like cats and dogs and insects and babies, because it's like, who would kick a baby? Definitely not me, for any authorities that may or may not be watching this. I think at one point she also like kicks a car. Man, it's a wild ride. But yeah, she's a C. She's a C. I don't know, I feel like her personality was too much of a stretch, but at the same point, she's got that tan, which I really appreciate on anime girls. So yeah, she's like a C. Nothing too special. Hey, have you ever wanted to not fuck your girlfriend or her mom or her grandmother, but you have wanted to fuck an anthropomorphized cat? Well, you can't. Thank God, because that's a horrifying thought. But yeah, we have Tama, she's a cat, and that's because like she hated working as an office lady for a company, and she was just like, fuck this, I'm gonna become a cat. And so she did, I guess. As a matter of fact, Rentaro found her in the street inside a box, just like you would a real cat. But yeah, I mean, other than that, cat girls are like, they're above maids and a little bit below gyaras. There's some of the absolute best types of characters out there, and someone's got white hair, so and I'm a cat guy myself. I mean, I'm a human being, but I like cats. So I mean, Tama is an S. She's an absolute S tier. There's no reason not to put her there, and she's 21, which is legal anywhere in the world, so that's even better. Up next we have what's her fucking name again? Saiki. How can I forget? That's the name of my favorite anime ever. So yeah, I am extremely conflicted when it comes to rating her, because on one hand, she's one of the best looking characters in the whole series, but on the other hand, her personality is also one of the blandest, just most boring ones out there. Her whole schmackle is that she does things in a weird way on purpose so she can get attention from others. Like, if this was real life, that would be one of the biggest red flags you could possibly ever have. I remember there was this girl in my sophomore year of high school that did the same thing. She would like randomly throw tantrums at everyone just to get more attention. She would also force this fucking horrible laugh that sounded like if the second coming of Jesus Christ got transmitted on Twitch. And all I remember happening was that she got pregnant and then left. So yeah, honestly, Saiki, she's yeah, just I'll put her at a C just because she's one of the best looking ones. But yeah, other than that, it's just And finally, Jesus Christ, 27 of these is Day Matsuri. And the only reason why I remember her name is because she got introduced like last week, I think. And yeah, spoilers, she's a B. I'll just put her in the middle because she's half Japanese and half British. So, you know, we split the difference. You got the best and the worst. So she's a B. Her whole thing, like, she speaks... Oh my god, she speaks with a British accent.
You're what? You're daft son.
What's up with that outfit? I mean, it's not really standard fare for a festival.
Ain't got a Scooby-Doo about that. Billy Fox made it for me to wear, eh? Men hitting on girls, great big confessions, all that's got nothing to do with the stalls. The festival's art. You may as well not even be here. It's a festival. Berks that see festivals as nothing but tools to use for love games. You're white, you're daft son, blooming daft sword.
Like, god damn, I would rather watch an ISIS beheading video. Like, this is the orange juice after toothpaste of personalities. One of her redeeming qualities is that she dresses as a Lolita, which, I mean, Lolita outfits are just outright adorable. So, you know, that kind of saves her, but other than that, yikes. Just yikes. Is there a yikes here? I didn't make one. She's a yikes. But yeah, that's about it for this video. This is how we ended up. Again, the link for this tier list is in the description if you want to make your own. I updated this today, and the last time I updated this was when Himeka came out. So I'm not quite sure I'm gonna remember to update this every time a new girl shows up, but I'll try. But yeah, as of now, there are 27 of them, and yeah, there's just 73 more to go. It took around 4 years to get to around 25 girlfriends, so doing the math here, I'll be seeing you in 2035 once we get the 100th girlfriend, and I can remake this video. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy the video. I'm starting to stream again on Twitch and also on YouTube, so if you want to check that out, the links are in the description. Drop a follow on Twitter because I'm a really cool guy and I tweet cool things, so you should follow me there. And yeah, that's really just it for this one, I guess.